Can you get an SBA loan with a tax lien? So welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to answer your question, can you get a small business administration loan with a tax lien? And I talk a little bit about where you're going to get the money to do some of these things. And I'm a solution guy, so I'm going to pass some of those solutions on to you right now. So my name is Ted Thomas. Just to do a quick review, I've been a real estate investor since 1970. I specialize now for the last 30 years in tax liens and tax deeds. But right now, we're talking about, can you get a small business administration loan with a tax lien? So dozens of people want a piece of the rock just like you do. So if that's the case, why don't we help other people make money? You know, you can get everything you want in life if you'll just help enough other people do the same thing. Now, they want to earn money that's safe and secure. So that appeals to you, and it sure appeals to them. So I want you to stay tuned now. I'm going to tell you about some secrets that other people don't know. This is going to be super simple, but at the very end of this video, I will have a free gift for you. But let's get right into this business of money, okay? Now, you want to get a loan and you already have a tax lien. Well, that's going to be a challenge, so let's solve that. And let's also solve that you're going to need money for the future. So don't ask people to lend you money, big lump sums, but do tell people what you are doing, okay? Tell people that you're in a business that makes money, but from time to time you need investors, okay? Now, I'm not suggesting that you go to anybody and ask them for $25,000 or $50,000. If you do that, you're going to scare them away. You'll never even see them again at the grocery store because they'll go and hide. They don't want anything to do with you. Let's use a very logical step-by-step method. And the step-by-step method is simply this. Look in your telephone, find a whole bunch of people you know, and start communicating. Tell them who you are, what you've been doing, ask them what they've been doing. Get some communication channels open, and so you can find out what they're doing, and then you can tell them what you're doing. Now, I can elaborate on that for about 2 hours, but get the idea here, and once you get that, we can elaborate on the channel on other videos. Now, not all of the people that you're going to communicate are going to want to lend you money, but some of them will, and that's all you need. And you only need small sums of money. You don't need big dollars. So don't ask for 25 and 50, and don't ask any more than 10 people, okay? As a matter of fact, if you do it right, you just ask a few people, this will work. Now, I'm suggesting that you talk to people that are your friends. Now, if they're in that cell phone, they're a friend of yours. They know you, and more than likely, they like you, and best of all, they're going to trust you. So let me say it again. It has to be people that know you, like you, and trust you. If they don't know you, like you, and trust you, so if you look there and you don't know who that person is, well, forget that. Don't ask them, because they're not going to lend you any money anyway. Now, many of my students use this same approach, and they do it for their first deal, and then they continuously do it as they raise money for as many deals as they want. Other people are just like you. They want to lend money only if it's going to be secure, and they want to make money just like you do. So don't start out asking for large sums. Start out by communicating with people, letting them know what you're doing, find out what they're doing, and once you get this communication channel working, other people are going to want to help you because you're going to ask them to help you. Now, don't ask for money until the communications channels are open, because if you do, they're just going to turn you down. There's 3 keys that are going to work and why they're going to work for you. And they're going to be, they have to know you, they have to like you, and they have to trust you. If they don't know you, like you, and trust you, you're not going to get any money. All right. Now, if we ask for small sums of money, we're going to give them big rewards. Just like you want a big reward, they want a big reward. So you're going to work with people who know you, like you, and trust you. But first, you have to revive the relationship. I'm not going to give you a class on that because I want to show you successful people and good examples. But there'll be other videos on the channel. All right. So take your time. You're not in a hurry. You're not going anywhere until you get this money. We both know that. So take care with these communications, but get them started. Don't ask for money. Start renewing the relationship so that you can tell them what you're doing. Don't tell them you're starting the relationship because you want to borrow money. Get the relationship going, find out what they're doing. They might even suggest to you the things to you. All right, so my point is, they want security and they want to make money. Well, that's pretty common to everybody, don't they? People want security for their money and they want to make sure that they don't have to worry about it. All right, now, speaking of security, In the United States, we have security laws. All right, that means don't advertise in the newspaper you want money. Don't ask a lot of people for a lot of money. Don't put it on the internet. Don't do any of that stuff. If you do, you'll probably have a visitation from a federal officer. It's against the law to advertise for money. Now, can you do it if you're a big corporation and you do a prospectus and all that? Well, of course. But little guys like you and I, forget about that. So get some personal communications going. Now, when you connect with these people that know you, like you, and trust you, everything's going to change. Why? Because you'll find out they have the same desires as you do. Now, you'll get all the money you ever want if you'll help other people make money. So let's go through this process. I call the class I teach, Where's the Money and How to Get It. So I've been teaching this class for a while. I'm going to take you through a step-by-step process quickly so you learn a little bit about it. Is this going to be the only class you ever need? No, it's just kind of an introduction. So this is a solution, and I'm going to give you a solution that's going to work, and it's worked for dozens of my clients, and it works to make big money, but you have to do what I'm going to tell you here. So let's talk about Grandma Shannon. I actually have a video of her, which I won't have time to show you, but I will on the channel at another time. Folks, if you ask anyone for big money, they're going to do just like this guy. Have you lost your mind? And they're going to go run the other way. They don't want to do that. So I told Grandma Shannon to find 5 or 10 relatives and friends and ask each of them, relatives and friends, they know each other, and tell them what she was doing. And then after she told them what she was doing, if they were interested, she could ask them, would you like to put $7,000 into the investment? Now, is everybody going to say yes? Heck no. 80% of them are going to say no. They're afraid. But that small percentage will say yes if you do one thing. You make it secure. Well, let's do 2 things. But the one that's most important is offer them a huge interest rate. Now, the bank's not going to give them a huge interest rate, but if you do, they're interested because they want to make money. So Grandma Shannon followed the rules. She did just that. And she raised from, I believe it was 5, or might have been 7 people, she raised $35,000 to go to the auction. Well, at the auction, she bought a nice property. It was at a tax defaulted auction. I'll tell you about that later. She bought a property from the tax collector with no mortgage. Well, the property was worth a lot of money. It turned out to be worth, well, she sold it for $135,000, but she bought it for $35,000. Now, I know that sounds like a miracle, but I have customers doing that all the time. So what I'm trying to show you is the example. So don't get bogged down, just get the idea of right now. So she sold the property for $135,000. Not bad. $135,000, and she paid $35,000. But wait a minute, folks. She's got to pay back the $35,000, so she doesn't get to keep $135,000. But Ted, what about all that interest at 25%? That was a lot. Well, actually, it was about $8,000. So she ended up, as you can see on the slide, with $91,250, and she had no money in it herself. So all of those investors were happy. Why were they happy? Well, folks, this works because she's helping other people make money. So let's go take a look at what she did. Now, from the investor standpoint, if they put their $7,000 in the bank, they would get a nice return of $70 per year. Well, she bought the property and resold in 6 months. So in 6 months, she paid them a year's interest, and they each got $1,700. So the question really is, which would you choose? So you see, I've kind of condensed it into 6 or 8 minutes of our short YouTube video, but this works because they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And your attitude is, if I can make money, why don't I make money for other people? Well, everyone else says, oh, get the money from the bank at 1 or 2%. The bank won't lend you that money. 80% of the people out there won't lend you the money. But the ones that will, this is your ball game. This is perfect for you. You can be doing this as many times as you want. All right, so I'm going to close this video by reminding you that below me there's a free gift, and also reminding you that if you want to be involved in these tax deals and tax lien deals, I'll tell you about more of those on another particular lesson. But let me do a couple of quick questions before I leave. Why haven't I heard about tax auctions? Well, I'll tell you, they've been around for over 200 years, and the challenge is the government doesn't promote them except within the county they're taking place. So that's number one. And number two, the brokers won't tell you about it. The bankers won't tell you about it. The attorneys won't tell you about it. Why? Because they don't get paid to tell you about it. Okay, so there's no commissions allowed in tax liens or tax deeds. You have to learn this, and then you're going to do business directly with the county. There is no middleman. What happens if the property are not sold at auction? Well, the county will have to keep those properties. So what they do is they put those on a list. Now, the list could be called Forfeited Lands Commission, it could be called surplus, it could be called leftovers. There's many different names for those, which I cover on in another lesson, but those properties are still there and can be purchased by going to the county and buying them over the counter. In other words, when you walk into the county, you look up this property, they say, oh, that's for sale, and you can buy it from them. So we call that over the counter. I'm Ted Thomas. I'll see you on the next video.